uh, hence Evans said he will be busy and we'll be waiting for Black Moses and it's not showing up. Instead of just keeping the community hanging and all that, I felt, okay, maybe I should break the ice by, starting up something. I don't intend to have this session for too long, but just a couple of stuff that, I have actually discovered about, waste and everything. That's why I just thought to share with us. I might not really sound or come like an SME on this subject, but the little I know, I'm definitely going to share with us. So the very first thing we need to understand is the fact that Query Store is actually an operation or a technology that was introduced in 2016 when SQL Server 2016 was actually introduced. And also Query Store is also a technology that's actually been introduced to help database administrators carry out their performance tuning in a more efficient manner. I will say that if you remember when we try to troubleshoot and we run queries or store procedures like _, is active, it takes us straight into the server and begins to operate as a function from the instance level. But in this case, Query Store actually operates and it's a function or an operation that takes place within the database level. It's a database, stuff. So you might not, we're starting right now, so I just need to lay this foundation. So as we're starting, we need to understand that you cannot come to the instance level and find Query Store here. Having established that, it's at the database level. So I'm going to use my AdventureWorks, which of course I've already enabled my own Query Store here on AdventureWorks. But for you to turn on your Query Store, you may want to go into the database and then come to the Query Store. Go to, let me see. Okay, let's say we'll start with the properties of the database. Let's assume yours is not activated or yours is not enabled. You come to the database, right click, and then you find your Query Store icon here. When you click on it, this is the very first page that comes up. If you are here, it does not necessarily mean that because you have Query Store here and you've opened this window, you are actually having your Query Store activated. No, you need to come to this place and then you're going to find this drop-down arrow. And when you click on the drop-down arrow, it will give you 3 options. Now, the options are basically the off option, the read-only option, and then the read-write option. Of course, we know when we say read-only or read-write, you know the privileges that you have when it's read-write, and that is the core essence, so that you'll be able to walk around, your queries and all that when you have the needs to, which is what we are going to be going into now. So for you to activate your Query Store, when you open this drop-down arrow, you click on the read-write. The moment you click on the read-write, it's automatically activated. Sorry, I beg your pardon. When you click on the read-write, you come to OK, and then your Query Store is automatically activated at the database level. Now, another thing again is this: in some cases, you might not find it here popping up, like we all know. In most cases, what do you need to do? You just refresh. And when you refresh, you will definitely see it here under programmability. So now, with a Query Store, you have a lot of functionalities and you have a lot of privileges in digging and going deep into your queries. Now, registered queries, regress queries, overall resource consumption, top resource consuming queries. You remember, Buddy will always talk about, top resource consuming queries and all that when we are, running our stored procedures and all that. Queries with force plans, queries with high variation, query with statistics, and a track query. Now, most of the times for what I have been doing lately, I have come to discover that the major area that we seem to be experiencing issues with either our CPU, our queries running slow, yes, our CPU usage or consumption or usage or impact on our CPUs and our queries running slow and all that usually are based on the fact that we have resources that are consuming, we have queries, we have queries that are consuming a lot of, that are creating a lot of activities around our SQL server. So most of the times we come digging into the top resource consuming query. This is what I mean. This is the area I've really spent time with. So I'm going to talk a little bit on this. Now, to go into this environment, you either double click or you can decide you just double click and then it takes you into the environment. Let me try and see how it goes. Great. Awesome. So now, when you come in here, because I don't have any query running, this is slow. I wish I can bring you to my environment that is a little bit busy, but this is still going to help us know how to play around. And if you ask me, I want to recommend or suggest that if you have your lab with you, you can decide to follow while we're doing this. I don't mind, while we do this, just follow me as we navigate around and all that. Now, what happens is this. Usually, when you turn on, if you're in a work environment, like my workstation, my work environment is on right now, and I can see this. If you're in your work environment, something you need to, sorry, let me come this way. Something you need to understand is the fact that because your environment is a busy environment and activities are going on almost every time, you are definitely going to have queries that are running back and forth and all that. So the reason why I have to change to this direction is because I want to.
Your audio is not as clear as before.
Can you guys hear me now? I don't know.
Yeah, your audio is fine when you face the right.
When I face this way?
Yes, when you face this side and come nearer, the audio is better.
Okay, so this is what, okay. Is it better now? Is the audio better?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what's going to happen. I'm going to be, I'm going to be moving my face between this place and those places, this place and those places, please. So now, when we come to the query store, there are 4 things I want us to really look at. And I'm going to mention them. One is going to be understanding the total duration. Understanding the total duration. That is very important. And the reason for that is because when you understand the duration, you know what your organization has as their own benchmark, because in some organizations, it's okay, we want you to run for this particular period, it's okay, that's the threshold. It could be 15, 20, 4, 2, 0.4, 0.2, 0.6. If the organization says, okay, that is the threshold that they want to maintain. When you look at the duration and it's below the threshold, you'll find. And also when you look at the duration and it's above the threshold, it becomes a concern. And then you move from there. Now, in my own case, it runs between 10,000 and 100,000 and 800,000. So the very first thing, I want you to fix your eyes on my mouse. Like I said, I don't have any activity going on here, so you might not be able to see the chart. But the topmost is usually the very first bar that you see. It comes in the form of bars. It comes in the form of bars. So if you have your office lab with you or your office laptop with you, you can go to the query store and follow the way I'm showing you right now, because I'm also looking at my work lab, my work environment from here while I talk with us. So now the very first one is usually the top consuming query. It's usually the top consuming query. So it's going to be on green while you have the others on blue, and then like that, from the very topmost down to the list, it continues like that. Then under here, you are going to have a query plan. You are going to have the query plan. That's why you see the plan here. This plan talks about query plan. You are going to have the query plan. And the good thing about this query plan is the fact that the way you will have seen it when you are running your execution plan, whether estimated or actual, is the way you are also going to see the query plan here. Is the way it's going to see the query plan here, and it's also going to show you the costs. It's also going to show you the cost. It's going to show you the execution plans. It's going to show you all the parameters, all the predicates, the object, and the output of your query plan. Just the way it is if you had run your estimated execution plan the way we normally do. But from this place here, you'll be able to see it. Then we're now going to go to the next point, which is very, very important. And that is, we are going to be looking at how to view query text of the selected, how to view query text of the selected query from an from an editor window. Now you see this here. This is very, very important for a DBA to know how to use this. When you click on those places, now no valid query ID provided, please enter a valid query ID first. Now, because I don't have any query running, there's no ID. Remember when we talk about session ID or speed? Now, I don't have any, like you see, it's asking for query ID here. You're asking for query ID here. There's none because I don't have any query running or something. So now let me try something here. Query window. Let me see.
As I still check the chat, I just sent something. If you click that link, you can see the demo where you can just use to do the demo.
Okay. WhatsApp chat?
Yes, let me put it on WhatsApp chat.
Where did you send it, please?
Check WhatsApp chat.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think it's here.
No, that's not what I put down on there. Can you see? I drop it in DBA support.
Okay, let me go there.
So if you click it, it will open a link. You can share so that we all see that link.
Okay. Are you guys still seeing my monitor, my environment?
Yes, we are seeing your monitor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
I think they gave us a sample script there or something.
Yeah, so now, good. I think SQL Chat or SQL Tips is on, I'm on the same path with them. So now top resource consuming query, we've talked about this already. And when you come into those places, you now see this. You remember I talked about a green bar, and that is the very first that you're going to see. In this case, this is how they decided to, this is how they decided to set their own duration. In my own case, it's from 100 down to 800. That is the topmost. In some cases, you see 1 to 4. Like in my personal lab, it's 0.2, 0.4, 0.8, and like that, But you need to understand that this is the very first bar that you're going to see. And this is the one that tells you what the duration is or what the top consuming query is. Now, if you see the drop-down arrow where you see the second red arrow there, it tells you the durations in milliseconds, whether CPU, whether logical read. If you have your lab, please scroll down where you see the duration in milliseconds. Just go straight to the drop-down arrow there and click on it. It would pop up, almost every aspect, that you want to consider. And of course, you remember that before we come into this place, we already have our monitoring tools that first and foremost tells us why it's red, and then tells us why there's an issue. It points us to where the issue is. Now, and we're not saying, okay, query store is an amazing tool that helps us to narrow down and then, of course, reduce the need for us to go around and try to ransack and all that, where to find our answers from. So coming into this place now, if you look at the drop-down arrow there, it tells you the execution count, it tells you the duration in milliseconds, it tells you the CPU time, the logical reads. Of course, we know about the logical reads already. It tells you the logical write, it tells you the physical read, it tells you the I don't know what this CLR time is, but it tells you, of course, we've already talked about DOP, right? It talks about the DOP, memory consumption, row count, and the rest. It tells you all that. So all you need to do is to click on any one that you want to look at, and then investigate or diagnose or try to research and know what is happening there. The moment you click on it, it takes you straight into what's happening around the CPU environment, and then the time that is that it's running and all that. So now let's come down to the next. Let's come down to the next.
How would Nicholas go then?
Here is our query number 1 with the single table scan
You
class.
on the business, madam.
Can somebody help us?
No, the reason why I was
if
asking
you are not presenting, kindly mute yourself.
Ojúlóge, you can mute now. You're a co-host. Ojúlóge, you can mute anybody. You're a co-host. Go ahead, Pastor Steve. Or Pastor Steve, do you want me to share my screen and do the demo while you explain?
I think he needs to unmute himself.
No, he's not muted.
So can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we can still, okay, let's go on Evans that we can still use this. It looks like we can still use, let's go on Evans. Let's use your screen, share your screen, and let's see if we can.
You explain no.
I will explain, definitely.
Okay.
I will explain, yeah.
Okay, you don't.
Radio, let me know, Evans.
Is my screen showing?
I can see your screen here.
Oh, sorry. So let me. So where is Query Store located?
So open, no. Open your databases. Open your databases.
Oh, okay. Let me 1 second.
You're already in your instance. So open your databases.
Pastor Steve, your volume is a bit low.
Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear him?
No.
Hello?
Yeah, he was asking you to open your database, but I can't hear him though.
But you can hear me?
I can hear you.
I think it's better Pastor Steve take off his headset. He was talking without headset before.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. Okay. So I've taken off my headset. So expand the databases, Evans. Expand the database.
I want to create one first so that we can use this one.
Okay.
So my own data file and log file is in a different location. Let me see. E and F. E. What's going on? E data failed with the operating system. I cannot find the specified file. Okay. Create database on primary. Okay. Go alter set of those statistics of. Okay. MSSQ. Remember, that was how we built our lab. Okay, it has created the database, Pastor Steve, Query Store. So let's go there.
Okay. So now that you have the database created and everything, now we are going to start with enabling or activating your Query Store. Okay. So which is the database that you've created?
Okay, it's here.
Okay, awesome. Now, if you notice that, this new database that Evans has just created, if you look at the list of icons and everything, you will not find query store there. So what I want you to do is, Evans, go to the query store demo that you just created now and right click on it. Go to your properties. Now on the properties, like I showed us before, the very last one is the query store, and then double click on it. Great. So now go to where you see off, operation mode, of then yes, and then of course click on it, and then of course read and write. When you click on the read and write, you come down to the OK. You come down to the OK, and then OK, right? Click on it. Now refresh the database. Boom, and you have a query stored there under programmability before service broker. Correct. Now that is it. So now we've already here. Because of time, I didn't really take us into explaining to us or showing us the properties of the query store for us to get to understand how the threshold is set, at what number. I only just mentioned it, but I really didn't show us how the threshold is set and some other part of the query store that we need to understand. But in most cases, after you enable and all that, I think the setup, comes up and just like a default to some extent, except the organization says, hey, we want to shift this parameter from this to this, or the threshold from this to this, then you can now discuss that with your manager and then go ahead. Or when there are issues, there will be recommendations that will enable you to do that.
So Pastor Steve, as you can see my screen now, the next thing on the demo says we should create a table so that we can populate it and everything.
So go ahead and run this script.
Okay. We'll not run this last one because you've actually worked.
You are altering. That one is altering. So run the other,
No, we've done this one already. We've set it on already.
We've set it up already.
I'll run the ones
above. Okay.
I'll run this one above it to create a table, create the stop procedure, do all those things. I never run this thing. I just execute to it's happen.
And my test database you will use now, so no fear.
I just passed the query. I never run now.
Okay. So you just passed it.
So make I run them now.
Okay, be sure that it's not something that will tamper with you. Okay, you're running against the database, so yeah, in highest we'll drop the database and then create another one. Worst come to worst. So 6 milliseconds.
It's in certain record, 15,000 record.
Yeah, still executing. So
I hope I get enough space.
Okay.
Okay, to add 15, it will insert and do it 15,000 times. So guys, please be patient. So to create this table, okay, it has done.
Great. So
the name
now,
of the table is
Evans.
Yes, sir.
You now go to, let's assume, hey, Ojologe or Sam or Kumbi or Moses says, looks like we're having issues and everything. There's this query that we run, blah, 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 blah. Or our environment looks like, our CPU is like, growing and a lot is happening and everything and all that, And you say, okay, I think what we need to do is, let's look at what's going on and everything. Which database have we been working on? We're working on this database, query store demo, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's look at what's happening. But you just go straight to your query store. When you go to your query store, you now go to your top resource consuming.
This one here, right?
Double click on it, double click.
Before then, they said we should execute. The next action will be to execute this stop procedure so that to fire up something. The stop procedure we just created. So, so we're going to fire it up now and then we make it 20 times and go and then the next thing will be to go to top resource consuming query.
Okay.
Good. So I fired it up. So I'll now come here. So I should go here and double click, right?
Yes. Double click on it.
Will it open somewhere?
Just double click. I don't think you did. Double click. Yeah. Awesome. So it's coming up now. Great. So now you are going to see the query plan under awesome. Now, table insert. That's actually I want you to put, give me a second.
Wow.
Okay. So now you can see, this is the execution plan, or the query plan rather, that Query Store is now showing us. So when this pops up, you now begin to dig into looking at where you have the highest cost, which we all know, of course, Buddy has taught us that already, which you all know. Now, something you need to understand is that, Evans, move your cursor to the green bar.
This one.
Yes, and leave your cursor on it. Now, I want us to study this very well. For those of you that are very good when it comes to queries and stock procedures and everything, I want you to fix your eyes on it. The query ID is 17, right? The average duration in milliseconds is 173. Now, when you calculate it, you discover that it took time. It took time. Some could be like 0.1 millisecond. Some could even be in zeros, depending on how the query is actually built.
You're right, sir, because this query does not have a clustered index.
Correct. In short, I was going into that. I was going into that next. Now,
look at the right hand side.
And so the query that runs 0.1 and this one that runs in 173.48 milliseconds. What could be the issue? It could be the fact that indexes have not been introduced into this particular query. And now, what is it? Now let's look at what. Evans, take your mouse off here. Great. You can see it's doing clustered index scan. You see what I'm saying now? So from here, you can now begin to look at what is happening within a database and the query that is running and the execution plan. But get another interesting thing. When you see query one, query costs, but when you look under, put on the select schema, go up on top the bar.
Yeah.
No, down. Come down again. Yes. Now go down the next line. Where is great. That. Now read and see what. Look at the output there. It gives you an idea. Have you seen it?
Is that the query that is running?
Yes.
Yes,
that's the query. It's that's a query.
Okay.
So from here now you can have an idea of what the entire issue is and then the recommendation that you need to do next. I mean that the recommendation. Now go to the last place. You see something like this. Oh, I can walk around you here. Evans, leave your mouse. Just leave your mouse. I didn't even know. Okay. Come here and click here.
Where?
Here. Oh. Press. No, the last ellipsis button.
On which side?
On the left, on the right hand side, under the scroll bar, the last ellipsis button on that same place where you have that same place where you have the query, where you have the query, go to the end. Good, click on that. It will show you good. This is the query.
So this is the query that is consuming high resources.
Yes, this is the query. So you can run your execution plan as well. Just say no or close. You can run your execution plan against this. I mean, you can run this against your execution plan when you declare. Okay. So now let's go back to that same query store. Good. Now, I want you to come to the top where you see metrics and duration.
Where? Metrics and duration here.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Now go to the drop down. Click on the drop down. Now this now takes you into the place where the juice is. From here, you can deep dive. You can deep dive into any area that you want to narrow down to. For example, click on the CPU time. Come down. Yes, click on the CPU time. It shows us this as well, and then gives us the average CPU time. And then that's when you see the query from 0 to 140 to 160. So Now, I want you to move toward, after average, move toward your right-hand side. You see something like a magnifying glass. And no, magnifying, yeah, correct. Click on that. You can also, from there, you can also have access to the query from there directly.
Okay.
That is, you are viewing the query text now from there. You can either do that or you go to the ellipsis box I showed us.
Okay.
And then also, if you want to see it in a grid form, if you want to see your, if that is the same as what we're here, if you want to see your query in a grid form or in a grid format, move to the next where your cursor is right now. No, go back. Go back. Yeah, go back. Yes, click on it. Now, this is another beautiful environment that I want us to come into. Now you discover that you see the query ID. From this query ID now, it now helps you to know where to go. Then see the average CPU. So everything that you want to see at the same time can be seen in this grid.
So can you choose, for example, if we choose query 1, what will happen? Okay.
It will open up the query plan for query 1.
This is good though. But we're working on 17. Let me go back to 17. So this one now, we can see what query 1 is doing.
Yes.
Okay, query 1 is actually clustered in there 6, but we're on 17. 17, I'm back to 17.
Now the table that the database that we're working with, and if you know, you just created it.
Yeah, we just created it.
So it will not be for you now to now tweak it with whatever you want to do, whichever we want to tweak it and everything. Now there is what we call force plan. There's what we call force plan. Now the force plan.
Sorry, I said Pastor Chris. Pastor Steve.
Yeah.
So before you finish, let's you know in performance tuning, that particular query that we run is showing us a clustered index scan.
Okay, you want let's go into that. Okay, let's go into that. Now you'll notice that first and foremost, let's look at the
execution plan.
Not execution plan this time around. Go back to okay, click on the execution plan. Let me show you something. Click on the highest. It's 19, they're all 1990, yeah. So click on, and then when you add everything up together, you know what the total sum is. So click on that. Good. Now you will discover that we are looking at this bigger monitor is now making me have issues with.
Sorry, you want to look at the tooltip to see, okay, it's doing a cluster index scan from the top.
I'm trying to look for something here.
Like the number of rows is covering or what?
Yeah.
But the next thing in the demo was to create a clustered index, to create a non-clustered index and execute that same store procedure. Before
we do that, I wanted to show something. I don't know why I'm losing my thought here. I wanted to show something. Okay, now just come back to your database. Oh, expand your tables. Did you export tables?
No, this is a table we created.
Good. Expand the DB store, the DB underscore store. Okay, let's go to the columns.
There's no
now
index.
These columns here, there's no form of index that's been introduced. No primary key, nothing. Right? Go to the indexes, and there's no index.
There's no index. I've opened it.
So automatically we're having a heap here.
Yeah, it's a heap table.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's a heap table.
Yes, so automatically we're having a heap here. So because we're having a heap here, it's natural that SQL Server is going to do an index scan, a table scan.
Yeah, a table scan, yes.
It's going to do a table, and like Bada will always tell us, it's a very costly operation.
That's right.
So all we need to do now is to either convert, I don't know, these columns that we're seeing, I don't know which one that is an identifier or something, but I think the top column, we may have to consider that as, or select the top 100, select top 1,000 from the table.
They used the C3.
No, click on the table, select top 1,000.
I know. what they created, it's the same table, but what they did was that they created a non-clustered index first. They introduced a non-clustered index on this table, on this column C3.
Okay.
Which is
So
this guy. Then we execute the stop procedure again to see what is going on.
okay, go ahead, please. So this NCI, that's non-clustered index.
Yeah, non-clustered index.
Okay.
So as you guys can also see, there's no statistics because of course there's no index. The moment you introduce this, it will create index and also
update statistics.
To create statistics as well. Okay, let's refresh this guy now. Okay, the index is there.
It's, yeah, so not so refresh. Good.
So automatically to create the statistics.
Yes, NC1, yeah.
So let us fire up that thing again.
Yeah.
And see the improvement. Good.
Awesome.
Fired up. And they said we should refresh the. How do we refresh? They said we should refresh the result so that we can get another result. Now, how do we refresh?
See, refresh it. See that white box with two arrows, green arrows. Yes.
Oh, 9 minutes.
Yes. Okay. Awesome.
I see they give us index scan.
You remember, but do you remember what it was before?
It was a clustered index.
Asking for clustered. It's asking for clustered index.
It was a clustered index scan before.
Still the same result.
Yeah, it was doing a clustered index scan.
It's still doing that now.
It's still doing a clustered index scan.
Yeah.
Which query am I running? Let me see, select. Okay, where C3? Okay, sorry, then I need to run another query. Sorry, it's my fault. But I'm still sorry, I missed.
I mean, we're all learning together, please.
There's a select, if you look at one, there's a select statement after we do that thing. So the select statement is supposed to be, we would have seen the table scan that Pastor Steve said if I ran that first statement, but now that we no longer see table scan, so there's select C1, C2 from the table. Where C3, where we created the non-clustered index, equals to at parameter 1. According to, that's what the, okay, I need to, let me see, not for C1. 1 second. I'm at 13. I'm just checking the demo to see where they went to query 1. So they went to query 1. Is there any query 1 here? There's no query 1, 117. How did they generate that query? Can you see the query?
That go 20 when you run it.
Maybe I would have, you said?
The selection I'm seeing, you select, how did you select it initially when you run it?
You'd like to call Vivian Ibram PIN. Mobile. No problem, I won't.
What did you say, please?
No, I was wondering how you selected it initially when you selected it and ran the query.
No, I created the index, then executed a stop procedure. But I'm seeing this one on the script down there. Part 20. Let me see. You can continue with your explanation.
Okay, well, so now we now know that, okay, sorry, it looks like, two people are cooking this soup, so.
SC3 equals to, where's that thing? Okay. Procedure 1.
Awesome.
SC3 equals. Maybe I would have declared this parameter 1 before.
I think you need to declare parameter 1.
It was declared, huh?
You must declare the variable.
How do you declare it? To?
I think declare. How do you declare?
That's right, you know.
And I think table.
As
Table,
what?
I think.
I don't know how to declare parameter. Let me see. Incorrect syntax near this. Anyways, let's not waste our time on this.
Okay.
I think where C3 equals to parameter 1. C3 could be anything. Let me do that your select star again so that we can see what is on that table. And I don't know what they are trying to achieve. Where C3 equals to parameter 1. Where is the C3 is constant. C3 is just 2.
C3 is constant.
Anyway, so I don't know what they were trying to achieve with that. So let's go back to the query store
Okay.
so I can continue your explanation.
Okay. So now that we're here, the next thing we need to.
Oh, Pastor Steve.
Yeah.
Sorry. So when I run that query, it's generating a result here. So I'm supposed to go to that result to see what. Okay, I think I've gotten the gist now. So now that we have introduced a clustered index here, a non-clustered index on this. So now whatever we run here, we'll go and check the query and it will show us.
And see the result.
Yes, it will show us the result.
Yeah.
So now, where C3 equals to 2. Let us see what this one now will go. Execute. So it will still show you almost every, select C1,
C2.
C2.
Yeah.
It will show us, it will still show us everything on that table. Good.
Yeah.
Then let's go now.
Go back to the query store now and refresh.
Then
refresh.
Let's see the query that I just ran. This is the query I just ran 55. Yes, table scan.
Awesome. So
it's still giving us a table scan.
It's giving us a table scan. Well, let's look at the cost. Click on the select. No, click on the select. Now look at the click on the cost. Now you see estimated operation cost.
Yeah.
Then estimated sub-tree cost. 0 point. So you now notice that when you run the query, it was faster now. So the thing here is this, when we say table scan, most of the time we say because it's table, Brent has said that it's table scan does not mean that it's a bad query.
It depends on how big that table is.
It depends on how big is the consumption and the time that creates the issue. Because at times we say, oh, it's table scan, we must put an index, it's doing an index scan. No, if it's creating an issue, then you can start thinking of tweaking. But if the cost is as this low as 0.0, what's your issue?
Okay, I'm on 56 now. Let's go to 56. 56 is still doing a table scan.
Let's see the cost. Same.
Select C1, C2, C3. Okay.
So
you see, it's also recommending missing index.
It's recommending missing the index. Then nothing is wrong in doing that.
Beautiful.
But with this, the question is, will this put pressure on your CPU? No. At this point, it does not put any pressure on your CPU. So even if it's recommending, you can go ahead and say, okay, you want to start. If you see the guys, can you see the green
impact? The missing index.
Can you see the green line under the select?
Yeah,
can you guys hear us?
Yeah, we can see the missing index, right?
Correct. So that is the recommendation. So based on that, now you can now go ahead and introduce. All you need to do is to click on the index, right-click on the index, and they say create new index.
Okay.
And then you create your index from there. You want to talk about this first plan? what this
So-
first plan is.
Now, no, it's not, that's not first plan, that's plan ID. See first plan under.
First query plan, see, okay. So in
Now
other
put your
words,
cursor on it, put your cursor on it, you get the details from there.
yeah, right.
Yes, query store is operating in read-only mode. Query execution plan cannot be forced
Where is it?
or unforced at time.
Post query 56.
Oh, where did you see that?
It's on that same, if you put your cursor on it.
So it's trying to use plan 57. So what is
Yes.
in plan 57? Okay, it's showing us, it's making recommendation here.
So
plan
that,
50.
yes.
Whoa, this is good. So, but why is plan 57? We can't see it here, and it's not showing us here. So do we force it and see what was going to happen?
Well,
Let me-
I was scared to force it in my own environment. So maybe first let's see the result together.
Let me force it here, I beg. I force it. Force it by force. What is it doing now?
Okay.
So did it improve it? It's still doing table scan. So
No, forcing does not mean it's going to do anything. It's not saying it's going to improve it. When you say force now, it's for you to diagnose and get to see what's happening there.
the same non the same.
So now go to your ellipsis button. Go to your ellipsis button by the side. Click on it. Yes, click on it. That was the query you ran.
Okay, add parameter 1. So that's the
Yes. So you remember it's recommending you adding an index, right?
yes.
Go back to the query plan. I mean,
So
to
where's
the
C3? So that's that parameter 1 that was giving us error. It's supposed to be at 1. Okay. Man, this is good though. So
okay.
let me close this.
Somebody said she wanted to ask a question, I think.
I think it's Ojulo again, so.
Okay.
So are you going to follow the recommendation in green or what?
Yes.
Yes.
You are very correct, sir. Because
Yes.
the next thing on the demo, they made that recommendation that we should create those 2 indexes.
Yes. If you follow it and create that index, you are going to get
it here.
yes, you are going to get a better result as well. I mean,
Let us try this and see. If we
when we
but-
say better,
Evans,
this
did
is
you
not
copy it
problematic.
from that recommendation or you created? Where did you
okay,
copy it?
let us
Yeah.
let us do this one, right? Click it and go to missing index details. So it's saying we should do included columns. That will
So
improve that
uncomment.
query. Huh?
You can uncomment
Oh, we can run it like this.
or run it like that.
Yeah.
Run
Right, like
that.
it will finish that, it will work on that query, but the demo was saying we should do this. This one is not including the column, it's only adding C1 and C3, but on C3 already there's a non-clustered index. So do we use the demo or let's
use the demo. Let's use the demo.
Okay, then we'll now, after we'll go and create our own. So execute this, good, and then, so let's refresh this and see what that has done. That's added another index with included column C1, sorry. Okay, this is a new one that I created, but inside this one is using 2 columns. So, okay, let's fire up this guy again. Execute, good. Then, do we run the query again? Good, let's go and run that query again. Where's the select? Yes, this is it. Good.
Refresh.
Okay, we're still, it's still not picking up yet. So why is it still showing us table scan?
I don't know, but now what we need to do now is this.
We should do the recommendation.
Let's do the recommendation and see. I don't know why.
Abi, it shouldn't show us this one now. CPU time. Let's go.
No, go back to execution count. No, duration. No.
CPU time or duration?
Duration.
Yeah, we're not on duration before. Okay, good. So, anyways, let's create what they wanted us to do, and then we see what's going to happen their own. So that is their own.
Mhm.
Sorry, I didn't adjust that thing. We know, but normally we would adjust it. But let's go and see. But Steve, that's something we're not doing right, because by now, after having created that thing, it's supposed
Yeah,
to.
I don't know
Oh,
what is
sorry. Okay, no. Okay,
You
every
didn't
action
run
we
it
do is
again.
capturing. What do we
it's
run?
capturing everything. So okay, now this is what I want to recommend.
Should I close it and open another this thing again?
On the query store.
No, this one. Let me close it and open another top resource consuming again. Let's see. Maybe to give us a different result. It's our lab environment.
Just go back to and then
Table insert, no.
no.
Duration.
Now what's happening? But what you need to understand is this, right? Each time you run it, it will select which of the queries you have run so far among the queries you've run, the one that is consuming more now. It's not as if it's going to be the same thing that you go back to. Depend on the queries that you run.
Okay, and I did average.
So let me do something here. Can we manually introduce let's say a clustered index?
Yep. Let me see. 1 second, please. Let me see if this will improve that thing. Oh, it says select. Okay, let me see now. Where is the query store? Okay. Where's that place that we normally go and see all those results? Where's
no, go the next one. The next one.
This
the next one, yeah.
I just ran something now. He's still not seeing any. It's still maybe I don't know how to use it. What ID is this? Okay, this is 62. I'm on speed 62. Speed 62. Where is 62? 62. It's not catching 62.
It's not capturing.
It's still capturing the old session ID that I am in. Query ID.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Can you run _base catch?
Do I have it? I'm not sure I have it, sir.
Just go back to your instance. Go back to your instance on master. Go back to your instance. No, click on your instance, then new query.
Okay,
use master. Use master. I wanted to do. Just click on her new query.
I'm not sure I have Bliss Catch.
Okay, just type _Bliss catch. Let's see.
Blitz.
You're not on your masters.
No, he's going to go to his masters. No, he will use masters.
Thank you.
No, Bliss, use master. Not masters, master.
Are they following your English now?
Go then.
Okay, what do you want me to do, sir?
_Bliss catch.
Please catch it.
Yeah, catch E.
You go for up.
At least that's only because
I don't have it.
Okay, so yeah, pass it. Just pass it. Let's see. You don't have it.
It's like
you have it. So execute. Okay.
No, I don't have it, man. I don't have it. I've not installed it yet.
Okay, so I wanted to see what the catch history is. If we need to flush, run DBCC free pro catch, but we need to add the
ID.
We need to add,
the database.
No, not the database. We need to add the plan catch to the DBCC free pro catch. If you don't do that, it might just clear all your environment record. Exactly. Well, let's do it on your personal lab. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Run DBCC free pro catch. please.
Pastor Steve, it's switch
Free
when
pro catch.
pro
Catch.
cache.
Okay, run it.
That's spelling correct, so
Pass it, let's see. Run.
no incorrect DBC.
Incorrect. DBCC, free.
I know that's
Proc, C, double C, proc catch, double C, yes.
okay. Procedure catch.
So run it now. Okay, so now that you run it, run the query again, because say we add new perimeter or new details to that particular after we ran it the first time. So go back and run the other query. No, the queries we ran before. I don't know which one was the last was the queries we ran, but run. Okay, just run it. Let me see. Okay, go to the execution plan. Refresh. Okay.
You used to see it, 60 something. You didn't see that.
It's not showing 63.
It's not showing 63.
Or where did you run it? Where did you run it?
I ran it here. Yeah.
62.
No, I didn't. Wait,
Yeah, this 62.
Yeah, I ran it in 62. But anyway, it's query ID, not session ID, right?
It's not session ID. Okay, this is session ID that we are looking at.
So it's session ID that we're looking at, but this is query ID.
Yeah, session ID we are looking at. I'm even
in as much as it
I'm
gives
even
us
lost
this
myself.
thing, that means it's correct. In as much as it gives us this thing. But what we can do here is, let me see this guy. So you see it, you see what you are supposed to see here.
Yeah, index. Yeah, index.
That's why I'm wondering why it has not cut this thing.
One thing I've not even checked to think, is it that it takes a period for the query store to gather the result?
To gather the result, exactly. That's another thing. Now we can see different plan IDs here.
Yeah.
So,
okay, well,
we got
I think we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on, man.
And we can move on. But with everything we've done here, it now becomes our own responsibility to see how we can. Yeah, so basically, I think I don't know if there's anything because of time, so that we can give room for others to.
Yes, sir. Share with us. That was a good presentation, man. Thank you so much for sharing that query stuff. At least I've been seeing query stuff, but I've never queried it. So who else wants to talk about what they experienced at work today? Thanks, Pastor Steve, for that wonderful session. Who wants to share what they faced at work today? Any challenge, anything you want to share with us?
Hey, hi everybody. This is Davis.
Hi, Davis.
The issue that one thing I want to just ask is that I don't know if anybody experienced this particular issue. Actually, I did in my environment. I did optimization of I optimized the index and I did statistics update. So after doing these two things on my environment, the prod the prod data server, we started experiencing slowness and we started experiencing lots of blocking sections, and I had to start killing blocking sections and all the stuff. We started having like CX packet, CX customer, all those stuffs were coming up. So I was just wondering if anybody normally get that kind of fall into that kind of situation, and what's the best way going forward if I encounter such a situation whereby I have to update on indexes and all that, or is it that I'm missing I did not do the DBCC catch and all the stuff? Is that an effect? I would like to see if anybody can give me an idea of this kind of situation. Thanks.
And Davis, please, can you just go back to your question again, please?
Okay.
Slowly this time around.
Okay, all right. Okay, what really happened to in my environment is that I had to do index optimization, and also I had to do statistics updates at my environment. So after doing these two things, statistics update and index optimization, the next day, the application team started bombarding me with tickets saying that they're experiencing slowness on the server. So when I went to check it, I saw that there are like 4 or 5 blocking sections that are just coming up on the system. So I started killing sections. So I was now wondering, because they're saying that it was after when we had that statistics update and index optimization done, that's when the system started creating these blocking sections and all the stuff. So I was going to see what's exactly running the codes and all the stuff. I was seeing that on XP_who is active, the common blocking sections that I'm seeing, and the system was also experiencing CX packet weights and CX customer weights, So with this issue now, I'm just asking a question saying, does anybody experience slowness of server whenever it is that there is an update in, whenever they perform updates in statistics or and also do index optimization? Does anybody experience that? And is it normal that the system started creating a lot of, we started having a lot of blockings and slowness after that is done?
Okay, let me just the little I can share, but I think Kumbi will be very good in responding to this particular question as well. But I want to ask 3 questions.
Yes.
The very first question is, do you have your index maintenance plan set up in your environment?
Yes, actually, what happened in my environment, I just took over the environment like about 4 weeks ago. And when it is I took over, they did not have it. They did not have all those things in the environment because the environment was being managed by an Oracle guy. So they just employed an ex MS server person to take over the. So when I was saying it, I started telling them that we have to create maintenance plan. We have to do this. We have to do that. So 3 days ago was when they were able to create a maintenance window for me to run the maintenance plan. That I was able to put in the store procedures and all the stuff that I would do on the computer, to be on the server, to be able to fully know what's going on in it. So that was the situation. They
So,
don't have. They've never had it before.
Do you have all Allen Green on that server?
Yes, I just put Olalegren. Yes, I just ran his this thing.
This was when?
Okay.
I just did it like on Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday.
And
is
on
like
Thursday morning, because I did it on Wednesday, like about 10 p.m. Then on Thursday morning, they started complaining that the system is slow. And when I looked at it, it had lots of like 4 blocking sections and all that I had to kill. And
when this was that should be on Thursday, right?
Yes, I did the stuff. I did the stuff on Thursday.
On Wednesday.
Then on Friday.
On Wednesday, sorry.
He did it on Wednesday night, 10 p.m. and on Thursday he started experiencing slowness.
On Thursday morning, when the
And
application team they came to work and they started looking at everything, reviewing everything.
Okay, cool. Give me 1 second, please. Let me just give me 1 second, please. Let me just
Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm talking. Actually, I am taking permission from Kumbi. Let me just go through now. You set up your maintenance plans on Wednesday night. Then on Thursday, you are called that they are having issues with.
Okay, let me clarify. I set up the maintenance plan to run on the weekends, but I still did a run right there that same time as well.
Now, this is why I asked the question and I was referring to the days. Now, a day after you set up the maintenance plan, I wanted to ask what is the schedule? How did you schedule it to run?
Well, I scheduled it to run on the weekend, like Saturday.
Your index maintenance plan?
To run on Saturday, and the full backup run on Sunday morning at 12 midnight.
Is your environment not busy?
It's mainly, it's not too busy like that.
This one. Go ahead.
Yes, the maintenance, it's not too busy like that. The majority of the time, the application is used during the daytime because they use it for that application, that application that runs on that server works. Is an internal software they use for the company for like logging in and all those things.
No, don't even bother about the purpose and all those ones.
No, I mean, I thought that was the question you asked.
The question is if your environment is a very busy environment. The reason why I say that is because your index maintenance plan, there's nothing wrong in you setting your index maintenance plan every night. There's nothing wrong in setting that every night. And because you have set it to run weekends, your result is going to be shown on Sunday.
Yes.
So now the block, I want to go back now to the blocking issue. Now the aspect of the blocking you're talking about right now. Look, blocking is not a crime. It's when it becomes a deadlock or it's taking too long. Wait is not a crime. Blocking is not a crime until it goes beyond a particular period, duration, and number of time, then becomes an issue. So the question is, let's assume that they say they notice blockings around 9 a.m., 20 minutes after 9, 35 minutes after 9, 10 a.m. Are those blockings still there? Are those blockings still happening? You remember Bade will always use an illustration and talk about using the toilet. When John is in the toilet and Peter is waiting. So that there's a lock that he's inside. Of course, he's inside, he should lock it because he's using the place. So when transactions are going on and they are locked, it's not a crime. When they are blocked, it's not a crime, but it's when it becomes too long that it becomes an issue. So it's don't always be in a rush or in a hurry to kill processes.
Okay.
Brentosa has even won on that. Don't be in a rush to kill processes. Just wait for a while. It's when it becomes an issue.
Do you know do you know the idea of time to wait? Is it like, will you like to wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes? What is like a generalized
10 minutes,
time?
15 minutes is long. 10 minutes, 15 minutes is long.
Okay.
10 minutes, 15 minutes is long. It's way too long. We're looking at maybe from 60 seconds to 180 seconds. If you're using seconds in your place, that is like from 1 minute to 3 minutes max. And in some cases, some organizations are like in my organization, they allow 7 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't be in a rush because you saw blocking. Don't be in a rush. You use monitoring tool as well, right?
Yes. We have we use Spotlight for monitoring too.
You use Spotlight. Okay, I use Spotlight as well, and Spotlight is amazing.
Yeah. Hey man. Honestly, I still need to learn more about Spotlight. I don't know if you're gonna
you
be
will love Spotlight. We'll talk about it. You will love Spotlight. So
yeah, because kind of still trying to grasp.
Now on the Spotlight, when you come to your heat map, right?
Yes, it shows you all the heat. Yes.
Yeah, when you come to your heat map. Now, one thing that happens is that when you click on the heat map,
yes,
it will the moment you see a red or an orange, click on it. When you click on it, look at the top left. You see diagnose.
You see diagnose. What I do is just acknowledge. I just click the acknowledge and just say okay and all that. Except when it is the minimal.
And I have two things, and very quick two things. One, for those of us, I discovered that a lot of us are doing migration at this time of our career and all of that. Even most companies are doing migration. And I don't know whether we've done it like this before, but I just want to add this to whatever way you want to do your migration. Now I'll come to my third node here. And this is, what's it called now? This is AdventureWorks 2014. I'll delete it. I'll delete AdventureWorks 2014, close this one, close all existing connection. And I would assume that I want to migrate from this place, this node to this node. So this could be seen as my source and this could be seen as my destination. And we can do backup and restore, we can do import export, we can do any which one that we feel comfortable with. But I just discovered this one again. Or did I say that I just discovered? Well, in just studying and all of that, I saw that we can actually do this. Go to where we have our data file.
Could be, is that IODB I'm saying?
Okay. You like the name?
Shut up and just continue.
I thought it was my BDB. Sorry, let's not distract.
You and your bald head, Kumbi.
Wait. So you go to where your data file is, and this is where my data file is, and I'll copy the data file for 2014. Copy it. I will map to the server that I want to, what is it called now? The server that I want to migrate to. Go to the where I want to keep my data file.
Yeah.
And bam, it is right here.
Mm-hmm.
I need to now do this. Bam, bam. I paste it here.
Yeah.
Now, what is this one saying? The action cannot be completed because the file is open in SQL Server. Beautiful.
Yes.
So that's error number one that we have to take care of. I close this guy right here.
What's your drive?
I close this guy right here. I go back to this guy. Do you understand? I take this guy offline because it's being used. They would not let you go.
Yeah.
I stop it. Yes. And yes. Yes, 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 and yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Sure, you didn't want me. So now that it has stopped, I want to go to do what I did the other time. I go to backslash SQL 03 backslash, and
Wow.
it's already here. So I come here, I want to put it here, and I paste it here. You see it's coming now. So if you ever want to do migration without all those plenty paparazzi, just take it offline and come to like stop the services and then pick what you want to pick, and here you come. Now I have the data file. The
But
next thing I also need,
Kumbi, but you know that there are two types of files.
That's why I'm saying that the next thing I'm going to get is this one, my log file for 2014. I come here again, I pick it up, I migrate to where I want to keep it. Let me see, do I have it here? Yeah, okay. I want to see, okay, my log is in F. So I keep it here. And okay, I already did this before. Let me delete this one. So the file is in use somewhere. Sorry. Yeah, so
your instance is red.
Yeah, it must be up. It must be up. So let me go get.
Oh, you take it offline. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you must. If you don't take it offline, you cannot move. Let me.
I wasn't watching.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you're watching now. So I go back to where I'm migrating from. My log file is here, and I pick this guy right here, copy and migrate to SQL 03 // SQL 03 / wherever I want to keep it. $F go. So I place it here, paste, and now we have it. Then I go to the server that I am migrating to, right? And I have it right here. I just want to show us that it is now available. So my data drive is here. That
the data file.
My data file is, let me refresh. It should be here. I thought I copied where did I put the data file? Was it not?
I think are you sure it's not? Yeah. Okay, it's
so
here.
my log file is here. Where did I keep my data file, guys?
Let's find it.
Let me go to E.
It should be in E.
Okay, right here. No.
So it should
it's
be
not in E.
Do you want to
okay, I put it here. Okay. Sorry, I put it here. This is it. I was supposed to. Yeah, I was supposed to put it in E, but I put it in I. My I is for my backup, but no
So
while I
take
will
it,
go
take
and look
it
for
from
it.
there now. Take it to the location.
Okay,
You can
so let
copy,
me cut
you
it
can copy from there or cut.
and put it in
E
E.
drive for data.
You can paste it here.
Now that we can see both here, I'll come back here. This is the simplest way that you can do your what's it called now? Migration. Now, when they give you, please let's not forget whether we want to do interview or want to do it at work, very important. When they give us a .bak file, we can only restore a .bak file. But when they throw at us a .mdf file, we can only attach a .md file. MDF file.
Right.
So they don't let them throw us a .mdf file and we're trying to go restore it. No, it would not happen. So we attach, we come here. Where did we put it again? E, right? Who remembers?
It's E.
Okay, thank you.
So it's going to
I come here and you see that if you pick your data file, it automatically looks for your log file for you.
Yeah.
And then this is it. Now, our log file, I did not put it here. So if I do OK, it will throw an error. So it would even throw an error because it can't find it here. Yeah. So I can only come here and go to look for it in F. And this is it, right? I do OK. Now we should be good. This is what you're looking for. And this is the migration you just did. So for some of us who need to start doing, what is it called? Script out your permissions and your login. This one does not need all those kind of things anymore.
If I may ask you copied 2 log when you were moving those logs, you copied 2, you restored 1.
No, it's 1 he copied.
I did
one is 2016, one is 2014.
2016 is
no, I'm working on 2014. I didn't even touch anything on 2016.
No, but when I saw you moving the logs, I thought I saw you move 2 logs from the log folder.
No, it's just 1 log. Sir.
All right.
You only need. Can you do it again, please? Is there a way you can do it again? Any chance?
Okay, let me try it again.
Delete it and go back to source.
And Kumbi, the permissions and logins and all those things, they go as well, right?
They come
yes, if you do
attach, it will come with
if
everything.
you use your regular backup and restore, you need to
pardon.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So if you do your regular backup and restore and all of that, you need to script out your permission. The original file, go, the .mdf, which is the original file. So, and you also need your log file. Do you understand? So now, again, I will start. They want you to migrate.
Does that work for side by side as well, or just for in-place upgrade?
It works for side by side, sir.
Okay.
Server to server.
It even works for in-place. All you need is just pick this .mdf and .ldf and put it in the place you want to put it. Then go grab it there and restore it to the server you want to.
To the person that asked the question, what he did now is side by side from 02 to 03.
So, like Steve, our pastor, just said, it is. You see, this is one server. This is another server. I don't know whether you can see my cursor moving, but 03 is one server. 02 is one. Okay, 02 is one server. Now I have 2014. Let me restart this guy right here because I have to turn it off because of what I wanted to do. So I have a database. I want to do migration. Let's say I have 100 databases here. It's okay. You could just copy all of them and go like that. But we're using one as our demo right now. Migrate this guy from 02. Yes, sir.
Can you throw something in? It's possible right now because it's just moving 1. He just said something. If you're moving 10, please make sure you consider the space.
Yes.
And also, Kumbi, hold on, please.
Before you,
Kumbi, please hold on. Evans, I want to suggest that can you stop the other recording and then do a new recording on this session?
It's double dose. It's double dose. Query store and migration. Recording is ongoing.
We can still leave it like this, Pastor. I think that's not an issue. Okay. Except you want this one dedicated to just a simple way of migration.
Okay, no, I think that's a great idea. Let us stop this one. So even if you are watching this one, you are giving you Jara. So let's stop.
I never knew.